What up gamers, I'm Jason and today on Dice & Dragons I'm going to be unboxing the Kickstarter all-in pledge for Agents of Mayhem, Pride of Babylon. Now the game was designed by Gunter Eickert, it is published by Apollo Games and Academy Games, and it's also published in conjunction with, I'm going to have to take a look quickly back here, with Volition and Deep Silver as well as THQ Nordic. Now, normally I don't look at the box, but there are so many people involved in this game because it is based on the video game Agents of Mayhem. Lots of companies had to give their okay. Now, what is this game? Well, right now what I've got in the box in front of me is a competitive game where one side will take on the role of the bad guys, and I'm drawing a blank as to what their name is right now, while the other side will be the heroes, the Agents of Mayhem. There will be a three-dimensional board. You're going to be trying to complete your objectives for the chosen scenario and make sure that your team is victorious. Now, there is a co-op expansion coming for those of us that backed the Kickstarter. Looking forward to getting that. There's also some map upgrades, and don't let these boxes fool you. This is the Kickstarter all-in pledge. We've got the Bombshell package. We've got, don't see it here, oh, it's the firing squad. We've got the terrain upgrade that we're going to be going over as well. We've got the Hammersmith. We got all the content for this game. This is going to be a long video. So just a reminder, all of our videos are timestamped. If you want to see just the main box, well, that's coming up. You want to see Johnny Gat, you want to just see the firing squad, well, use the timestamps to your advantage. With that being said, let's go over to the top-down camera and take a look at what's inside. Now let's take a look at what's in the box for Agents of Mayhem, Pride of Babylon. Been looking forward to getting this unboxing filmed. Probably have to put quite a few things off camera as don't have as much room here. This is quite the big box and I want to get it as up close as possible. So here we've got what looks to be the rule book. Let's take a look. Got our rules here. Explanation of how to set up the map, movement examples, winning 3 and 4 player games. And this is definitely a long rule book, so not quite sure when we'll get this to the table. We've got the Legion mission book if you want to play the bad guys. So we have that one as well. We've got the Mayhem mission book to play the heroes. I'm guessing also the Legion player has one version and the Mayhem player has the other. That way you don't have any information being crossed over unless it should be shared. Here we've got the different characters, Fortune and Glory, Hollywood, Hardtack, the villains, Dr. Babylon, a golem, squad upgrades, quick rules summary. I got 2 of those sheets. So all in all, pretty cool stuff. Guessing that we've got these for 2 different players. Not sure why we need those, but let's actually, just for the sake of keeping things organized, and even though they weren't, they're getting in the way. I'm going to put the rule books back in the bag. It is a nice way to keep everything together. It is not that tricky. So I'll get them put in there. And get everything stacked neatly near the box. So we've got upgrade markers here, and you'll notice it does say do not punch any markers on the sheet until you've read the advanced rules. So I'm not sure what that means, but I guess I will not be punching anything. Was hoping to start getting things down the size. Same thing for these as well. So we'll take both of these sheets and just place them off camera. We look like we've gotten, they're already falling out there. We've got just some of the basic tiles. We got some vehicle markers. I'll just punch some of this stuff out. There is some cool stuff hidden in there. I know we've got the game trays, which were included. So that should be pretty neat. Looking forward to seeing what those are like. And I'll just place these off camera. I'll slide them into a game tray as they come up. So you'll notice also that all of these tiles have little places that you'll need to punch for the 3-dimensional aspects of each of the tiles. Now, I'm not going to, it's just It's nice that it's so easy to take out, but it's kind of interesting as we're trying to unbox this. But as you can see, we've got some rooftops. So clearly everything is for a different level. We can see some of the numbers, like this is 2-2, 2-3. So it should make it fairly easy to create the buildings as they need to be assembled. Now we'll take these and place them over here. What I'm actually going to do, and something I haven't done before, but it's not a bad idea, I'm going to just try to see if it does tear easily enough. And this is just so that I don't have to keep stuff I don't need. Oh, and there, one of the tokens popped out, so I'll make sure not to lose this. But I can put all those reference markers just off to the side. Now here, we've got some more tokens for the base game. Looks like we have some objective markers, event markers, timer markers. I do love how you do get to see what each of these are for. Now, I know I did punch some of them, but the ones I punched were the vehicles and the ramp markers, so fairly straightforward. Now here we've got all of the components, and this is where we really see the awesome game tray system that they're using to keep everything organized. Let's take a look at the miniature for Golem first. Very cool mini. Looks like it'd be a lot of fun to paint. Definitely like this guy. Let's see. So he's attached to a game tray like that. That's interesting. Now, as we were saying, as you can take a look at these game trays, you'll notice that there's spots to pretty much store all of the tokens. This looks to be Dr. Babylon right here. And now, just for the sake of not losing anything, I'm going to place the ramp markers, the vehicle markers, and this reference marker that escaped into this game tray so that nothing goes anywhere. But I do like just the Academy Games, the labeling part of Babylon. It's very cool. Now, let's take a look at what we have in this game tray. So here we've got just a whole slew of different colored cubes. I'll take a closer look. As you can see, there's purple and yellow, blue as well. But basic cubes that I'm guessing are going to be used to go on different tracks and keep track of life, health, damage, things like that. We've got the mini for heart attack. I love the fact how he's giving someone the finger. Pretty cool mini. I do like it. And it's neat how everything does fit very well back into this game tray. So we'll get this all boxed back up. This one is a little loose because of all of the tokens there. We'll move it off to the side as we continue on. We saw Golem. He's part of this game tray, which is a neat thing. We will pop the lid off. Be careful with Golem, don't want to drop him. Move just that off camera here. So we can see we've got some mech miniatures that we're going to be fighting. We've got dual wielding, looks to be androids. Some butt. We've got some more dual wielding androids, looks to be melee this time. We have some gun emplacements, and judging by the color, see these are all for the Legion character. We've got what looks to be some long-range androids working with Legion. And I'm just taking out the ones that I can clearly see are different. We've got, looks to be short-range minions of Legion. And all these guys here look to be the same. We do have some openings there, which is pretty cool. We may be able to store some different tokens and components. We'll place Golem back in the box and then also move this off camera. Now, what do we have here? And we do have some, it's being held together by plastic, which is nice. I don't think I'm going to keep the plastic. It's rather tight. It's nice for shipping, but definitely it's not something I could see using on a regular basis. There is some damage to tiles, but that's sort of to be expected. Yeah, this is very, very tight. I'm going to see if it peels. Yeah, it does peel nicely there. So on the back of the tiles, which we hadn't looked at before, we do see what they're for, the different buildings. This is the game store, the essential temple. So we get some labeling there. And these all look to be like outdoor tiles, as you can see. Well, we do have some areas that we can punch on them in order to build up, like I just did there. the different structures and buildings, which is going to be very cool. Now, I'm just wondering how that's going to really affect sort of the setup time for the game. We've got some gel silica, which I will get rid of. We've got, looks to be screws, plugs, ways to assemble stuff. Not quite sure why it's in cheap packaging like this. I'm not going to open it up, but that is what you get. I do think it would have been nice to have gotten something that was a little bit more stable than that. Here we've got some more tiles. And as you can see, got some straights. There's definitely nothing to punch there, but for some of the thinner buildings, we've got some tiles where we can punch stuff out. And I'll lift this back up and see just what we have under here. So we've got campaign cards and just another tile. We'll place that back. Let's take a look at what we have in the campaign cards. So they're minion cards. So these look to be just primarily dividers, actually, almost. And not sure why they're there. It looks like they could fit, not quite in those boxes. So that's interesting. I'll have to see how these dividers come into play as I start going through all of the content. For the moment, we're going to place everything back that was on this side just where it was. Make it easier on me to keep things organized. Well, we've got some tape in here, so before that, actually, let's just remove the tape. And I'll have to lift the tape up on the other side, but it's not a big deal. These shouldn't move around too much once the game trays are all in there. Yeah, just want to be careful. So these just are the poles that you're going to be screwing together to assemble the three-dimensional terrain. We've got the 2 decks of cards here. I missed it. There's tape under here. Yeah, I'll get that in a little bit. So we've got the different decks of cards. So open when reading section 4 of the rules. So let's just take a quick peek. We're not going to put anything out of order here. So we've got just looks like reality breaks. These look to be more abilities. Everything's numbered, which is pretty good. Heroic outbursts, things like that. So we'll place these cards back in the deck for right now, but they appear to be some ability cards. Packaging is not the easiest to reuse, but once you've learned the game, and I'm sure gotten it to the table or played it a few times, it'll be easier. This is definitely a pain to try to put everything back in. So we'll do it piece by piece. The nice thing is that even if anything gets mixed up with the numbering that was included, it'll be easy to reorganize. I'll place this back into the box. Let's see what we have here. So we've got these other cards as well. So this one says open immediately. We'll take a quick look at this. So it's got refresh, minion, and gadget cards. So you can see some minion stuff, details on the Blitz Trooper. Looks to be some abilities for the different characters. Really don't know what all the iconography is for the moment. And we'll get this all put back together. We will take a quick peek. Oh. I know I probably wouldn't do this if these two other decks weren't very easy to keep all together. But we'll open up the packaging, even though it says don't open until you're reading section 5, just to take a look at what these cards are, to see what you're getting in the game. Oh, this is definitely looking like it's going to be a long unboxing. We've got a lot of content to showcase. So this looks to be different campaign cards. So different objectives, campaign victory points, things that can happen in the campaign. So all this stuff you're going to need as you're going through the different missions. So for the moment, we'll leave everything as is. Get everything put back in the box. It is rather tight. And then we'll get the... you know what? I put it in, I think, the wrong way. Nope. I had it in the right way. There we have it. Now here, I'm going to lift this out because it's bugging me. And this tape is definitely bugging me. It is nice to have, but almost, see, I don't like that. I don't like when there's something sticky. Something that could potentially affect my components. So I have to see about getting this off, but won't do that during the unboxing. Let's take a look at the other deck of cards we have here. You know what? Just because it's driving me batty, I'm going to lift out the game trays. We'll come back to this stuff in a second, and I'm just going to get rid of the tape. So here we've got what looks to be the player boards. So we've got the player boards for Fortune, Golem, Dr. Babylon, Alpha Squad. Not too sure who Alpha Squad is. Then we've got Hollywood, Heart Attack, Bravo Squad. We've got some cool stuff. I love how the boards are three-dimensional. You also notice you can slide some stuff in. Very high quality. Really like these components. We'll place them here for right now. Then we've got information on Glory and Golem. We'll finish getting tape off. And I'll get to find out if all of these components are going to go sliding all over the place once it's done, but I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. Everything does fit properly, so with the box settled, it should hold them in their spot. Now, we were taking a look. Put the boxes back in the wrong spot. So let's put this one back where it goes. Doesn't look like it's getting stuck, so that's okay. Take a quick look. So we've got more campaign cards and advanced rule cards. We'll open them up and take a quick look at what we've got. So as you can see, we haven't really looked at the back of the cards, but everything's in a specific order. So take a look. So Demolish, Powder Keg. So these look to be some like different abilities and things that can happen as you're playing the game. And they're using definitely some stills from the video game. So it looks pretty cool. Overall, I'm not quite sure how these advanced rules are going to work, but I'm excited to learn. And then here we've got more campaign cards. So we've got the campaign cards. So just more events, objectives, campaign victory points, stuff that you can earn over the course of the campaign, like we saw in the other box. So we'll place this back using the separators to keep both decks separated. Put it back where it goes. Taking a look at what we've got, we'll place these two guys back where they belong. Get the player boards back as well as these tiles. I don't know, it looks to be, there's some damage there, but that looks to have happened during shipping. I didn't drop anything on them. Reaching over, let's grab the enemy trays. We've got the ones that we haven't looked at, which are right here. I'll bring them out in a second. We'll place the ones I have looked at back over here. And here it looks to me like we've got our heroes. more campaign cards. As the campaign cards are all the same, I'm not really going to open up. So here's Glory. There's Fortune. Pretty cool. Not too much detail on the minis. I would have liked to see something with a little more detail. And then here, we've got Hollywood. Looking good. And then the last part of the unboxing for the main game is we've got a section here for the different dice and all the tokens, which is pretty cool. I like how they've got their own slots. Now I did pick up the extra dice as well, which I thought about showcasing, but seeing as we've got all the same dice here, maybe I'll show just the package quickly. Everything's got a different value on it. I don't really understand what the iconography is as of yet. I haven't gone over the rules, and it's a long rule book. I'm not exactly sure when this will get to the table, but hopefully sooner rather than later. Like I said, we'll skip those campaign cards since we've gone through enough of them already. Oh, just popped out one of the score markers, which is a little bit of a pain. I don't want to lose anything. Pop that in here. Just keep that in mind if you're going through stuff, to be just a little on the careful side when you're putting everything back in. Doesn't look like golem's quite fitting, and I'm popping a few things out here, so let's see what's going on here. Are these all laying flat the way they're supposed to? Does seem that way. Is he in the wrong way? Nope, he was in the right way. That's what I thought. His piece fits. Maybe there's something underneath that isn't quite back. Or I'm just noticing because I'm only placing one component on. We'll just spread out the tiles. I'm going to continue on with this whole unboxing of all of this stuff and try to get everything nicely organized. We've got the two sets of tokens here. Yeah, there's definitely, it seems like it's going down in the right spot now. Lastly, we've got character information and the rule books. We can grab the lid, put it back on, and there we have it. We've taken a look at what's in the core box for Agents of Mayhem, Pride of Babylon. Now, we did go all in for this Kickstarter pledge, so let's start taking a look at some of the other expansions. Let's dive into the expansions for Agents of Mayhem. We're going to start with the Get Gaunt expansion. I am the world, he says. Well, sure, if I played the video game, I would understand the, the reference a little more. Now, we don't have too much in these expansions, so this looks to be like one for Legion. We just have some tokens, Bleed status markers, Mayhem status marker, Doomsday device for his campaign. We've got some more counter sheets, more cubes that we're going to need. We have a Get Gaunt fan. Not sure why we get these silica gels. We have gadget and Mayhem cards for Gaunt. We'll take a quick look at the cards that we're getting here. So just his abilities, what you'll need to do to play him as a character. I should be able to fit a lot of this stuff into these different trays. It's going to be interesting to see how it all works out. We have sheets similar like the ones that we had in the base game, except they've been folded so they could fit in the smaller boxes. We've got the rules for the expansion, how they differ. And then we get the player board for Gaunt. Pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to be keeping all these boxes. For those of you that are familiar with the channel, I'm going to try to figure out ways to rebox this. pretty much will do my best to get everything from the Gaunt expansion into this this tray that we have for everything. Let's see what we have in terms of minis in here. Now, I might actually use a couple of trays, as I do believe there's even some extras in some of these other boxes. So here we have just the Gaunt fans. So looks to be the minions that he has, and then here is the minion for, well, the player character for Gaunt himself. Now, not too much detail on the minis. I'm not sure how well they would paint, and I don't think you're going to get a lot of contrast, but I do like the fact that we have miniatures. It definitely, for a game like this, where I think a lot of the appeal is in the production value, especially with things like the three-dimensional terrain, having minis is a definite plus. So we'll get this all packed back up into the game tray and get it boxed up. Let's take a look at the Civil Overwatch Patrol. This box is incredibly light. Doesn't want to open all that easily. Now with the Overwatch Patrol, we get the rules for them. So it looks to be like they're cops. Not sure if they're good guys or bad guys. Then we just have minis for them. So as you can see, there's the miniature. And these boxes, not sure if we're going to do individual expansion reviews, but this is definitely getting reboxed into another box. It's cool for the game and everything, the production, but definitely feel like there's a lot of wasted space. Here we've got the Hammersmith. We'll start by taking a look at what's in the game tray this time. So we've got the Hammersmith himself, the villain. We get some more turrets. We have more cubes. His gadget and mayhem cards, as can't really explain them to you, I'm not going to open them up. We've got the token specific to his expansion. And once again, we have expansion rules. So rules to fighting against him. Seems fairly straightforward, actually, not that much there. We have his character sheet, just like we have for Gaunt. Another silica pack. And then lastly, we have his player board. Good stuff. I mean, so far it looks like just about everything will be able to fit in each of their game trays. Now, there isn't that much room in the Pride of Babylon box that I have over there to fit all the game trays in, but may be able to get them into one of the larger expansion boxes. Now we've taken a look at the first three of the expansions I want to go through. Now keep it right here, as I'll be back with the second round. So here we've got two of the bigger box expansions. So we'll start with Johnny Gat is Back. And we do get multiple trays in here, which could be good for sorting just about everything. Hopefully there's going to be a way to really get this game condensed. Here's the miniature. It looks to be for Johnny Gat. Here we've got a character that I don't know. Not too bad. Definitely not that much detail on the mini. We'll just move the game tray over here. Next, take a look at the second game tray. We've got more of these and a third playable character. Sure, we'll find out their names in just a moment. Next, we've got the Gat is Back expansion cards. So I won't open these up. These are the gadget and mayhem cards. Everything that you need to play the characters for the game. Now here we've got a whole slew of tokens that are related specifically to the expansion. Now, so here let's find out the characters. So we've got Safe Word, her character sheet. Here we've got the sheet for Johnny Gat. I do like how they added that fold though to make sure that you could store these easily. We've got Lazarus. Rules for the expansion. Short set of rules, actually, which is nice. And then lastly, we've got the 3 character boards for each of them. And another silica pack. So safe word, Johnny Gat and Lazarus. Now, depending on how we can reorganize some of this stuff, could definitely fit, you know, like another game tray in here, which would be pretty cool. It would make reboxing the game a lot easier. So let's move Johnny Gat over here. Let's take a look at the Bombshells expansion. This one has a fully empty game tray. So here we've got, looks to be a robot. We have one of the new characters, one of the Bombshells. Next, we have the other 2 characters. I do love the fact that there's one with a bow and arrow, just because this guy definitely looks like he's ready to jump into a fight. Sorry if you're a huge fan of Agents of Mayhem. I really just haven't played the game. So here we've got the bots card Volta. I'll just move the empty game tree out of there. All of the tokens that we're going to need for the different characters. Some more tokens, timer markers. We've got all the character sheets, which will now let me learn their names. Oh, this stuff is popping off camera over here. So we've got Rama with her laser bow, pretty cool. We've got Jewel, who uses Volta, very nice. And then Red Card, who definitely looks ready to jump in and punch someone in the face. And the last component, as is with all of them, we've got their player boards, Rama, Red Card, and Jewel. Once again, another one of these things. I think this is the first board game I've ever unboxed that has all of these silica packs in them. Now, there's definitely room, at least to compress maybe 2 of those expansions into these ones. 2 of the smaller ones. When I say those expansions, that's what I mean. It'll be interesting to see. Haven't quite gotten there yet, but the reboxing is coming. So there we've taken a look at Bombshells and Johnny Gat. We just have one last set of expansions to look at for Agents of Mayhem. So keep it right here, and we'll be back in a flash. And here we go, the last round of expansions for Agents of Mayhem. Once again, we got an empty game tray. You can see it's probably going to all really follow the same tune. We've got a character with a sword. Definitely think like my favorite character. Love characters with swords. We've got the guy running around with a pistol. Just some more of these. Not quite sure why we're getting so many of them. I don't know if all these characters can be included in the same game. Here we've got another character holding what looks to be like an AK or a pulse version of an AK. Once again, the gadgets, all the cards that we need to play the characters in the game. We'll set these aside here. Tokens for the 3 characters. New timer markers. Here we've got the character cards and the new rules. Sherazade. Kind of reminds me of Storm Shadow, actually, when I think about it. We've got Oni. And then Kingpin. Definitely think Sherazade is my favorite. We've got the new expansion rules for the firing squad. And then, I thought I saw it. It's in between the player boards once again. So you've seen all the different expansions. We've got plenty of different Agents of Mayhem that we can play as. We've got a whole slew of villains, members of Legion to play as. There's just a ton of content for this game, and I'm eagerly awaiting getting the time to punch it all, sort it all, and get it to the table. So that's what we had in the box for the Firing Squad expansion. The last expansion we have is the Terrain expansion, which really just, we've got plastic bases, won't open them up. We've got 2 plastic bags. Oh, we got 2 plastic bags. I will open this up then. So to see what we got. This really looks to be just like three-dimensional objective markers. Oh, dropping one. Time markers, same thing. Maybe objective markers. Oh, it looks like we've got maybe like a laboratory piece here. We've got giant crystal. These things primarily look like they're used to make the game just a little bit more exciting. Also, maybe some objective markers for Legion. For the moment, what I'm going to do is I'll just put them into different colors. Yeah, see, we've got a door as well in purple. So it definitely does seem to be one for Legion, one for Mayhem. Hopefully everything's going to fit back in the bag. So there we go. There's one back. One escaped. Don't worry, we're almost through this whole unboxing. It always takes a while when we're unboxing a full all-in Kickstarter pledge. We end up with just a ton of content. Some of the stuff that we haven't actually showcased, like I said, we do have the dice. Also got some sleeves for the game, and those don't really need to be showcased. Should be enough, hopefully, to sleeve the entire game. Otherwise, I'll be a little irritated, to be honest. Might not be enough to sleeve the expansions. So once again, the plastic bases. And then we've just got sort of three-dimensional doors, trees, things like that, that we get to add that extra level of dimensionality to the game. Well, we've got a lot of content here. And you know what? Putting this token sheet is just a little... Oh, see, this one doesn't quite want to come up. There we go. It's a little on the big side. So I'll punch it quickly. Not sure how I'm going to permanently organize this. Have a few ideas how to get some of this into the base box, as well as some of the expansion boxes, as that's the only way I'm going to keep this game without it having take up way too much space. And there you have it. We've taken a look at all the content for Agents of Mayhem, the all-in expansion, well, all-in Kickstarter pledge, and keep it right here as I come back at you with a quick outro. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when a review of Agents of Mayhem, Pride of Babylon is released. Also, down below in the video description, you can find links to all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Once this gets to the table, you'll see some pics of us playing the game, and hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. But as you saw, it's a pretty hefty rulebook. Not sure when we're going to get this to the table. Hoping it will be in the next couple weeks. And with that being said, don't forget, keep playing games.